Hello, hello, hello. Happy Tuesday morning as we start off this yet again another week of goodness. Oh my goodness. No, that's really like, let the good stuff happen. I have, first things first, because this coffee is not going to stay hot very long. It's not an insulated thing, but I wanted to show you. I know I've showed this in the stream before. Good morning, Kay, but I wanted to show my knitting llamas. They just crack me up. They're all knitting red and white striped. Except the orange one. And the one that has an orange one and a solid one. I mean, we got our individualists in there. So anyway, I love this mug. But like I say, it won't hold the coffee. So I'm going to go ahead and drink it right now while we chat. I have a lot to talk about because Sunday I went to a fiber fair. And that's real exciting. I believe I will show everything on this screen because I can't do real good close-ups, but there's a lot of big fluffy stuff that needs a lot of camera space. How you doing, Kay? Good to see you. I hope you're having a good start to your week too. I sound very cheerful, don't I? I'm good faking it. No, it was. Some mornings I get up and I'm like, do I really have to do this today? And I have a ritual, and Newman's part of it. He sits in my lap. I do stuff on my iPad and, catch up on things, and play a game or two, and have my coffee. And then at some point I get up and I put clothes on, and I may go back and sit down and have another cup of coffee or whatever. So I came into the living room after I got dressed, and hubby looked at me and he said, "You gonna stream in that?" I had put my garden clothes on. I had totally forgot it was Tuesday morning, and I was like, oh gosh, no, I'll have to change. Even he knows what clothes are for gardening, right? And what's for streaming. So anyway, that was my not getting off on the right start for the morning. Otherwise, it's been a productive morning. We've already made icing for his birthday cake. And let's just go ahead and talk about that while we're at it. His birthday was in March 9th. His absolute favorite in the whole world cake is angel food cake with 7-minute frosting. Kay says, I'm hanging out in Starbucks working on a sock, waiting for your oil change. Okay. Not sure what stage it's at now. I've done that before. I've been, it's kind of nice they put those Starbucks right next to the Hyundai dealer. I'm sure, I don't know which came first, right? The Starbucks, actually I think the Hyundai was there first, and then the Starbucks appeared when Starbucks started exploding everywhere, right? So, let's see, birthday cake. There, when it was his birthday, which is the early part of March, we were in Florida. In fact, we were down at my mom's on his birthday. And of course we went out to eat and everything, but I never made him a cake. And for years I have resisted making this angel food cake with 7-minute frosting. Now, I have to do a sidebar here about his mother, who is deceased now, but it's still a joke we laugh about. Somewhere along in her late years, when she was still baking him a cake, he was working, so it would have been pre-pandemic. She would bake him a German chocolate cake with the coconut icing, or make it from a mix. And I made your favorite cake. She kept insisting that his favorite cake was German chocolate cake with German chocolate icing. And he never, he'd come home and he'd tell me, and he'd bring some of it home, which I love it, right? He says, you can have it, I'll eat a piece, but I'm not real fond of it. Um, you know, he says, I don't have the heart to tell Mom that it's not my favorite cake. I think she knew. Who wants to bake an angel food cake? Who wants to make 7-minute frosting, right? It is like the hardest cake in the birthday cake repertoires. My favorite store-bought cake is white cake with white icing. I could eat that all the time, right? Even over homemade cake from a mix. But I will confess, we bought the angel food cake. We were at the grocery store, and I saw it, and I don't know, for some reason it just like, oh, let's make his birthday cake. I'll buy the angel food cake, and we'll make the frosting, right? And that's what we did. We made the frosting this morning. Now, have you ever made 7-minute frosting? It is literally about a 30-minute process. It's not 7 minutes. It's not like they're touting how quick you can make this frosting, because you have to do it in a double boiler. You have your ingredients sitting in the boiling water for at least 15-20 minutes while you're beating it with a hand mixer, and till it just thickens up to almost, it's a little thinner than marshmallow cream that you buy in the store. It's real close. And in fact, I warned hubby, it's cooling and it's pretty much ready to put on the cake, and I warned him. I said, don't wait too long. You might not be able to spread it right. It will continue to harden. But we'll see. We'll see if he gets it iced. So, anyway, that's what we did right before stream. We made that. I had an hour, and I said, all right, let's get this cake iced. Let's make this 7-minute icing. I said, I have an hour. And he just kind of looked at me like, well, that shouldn't be it. We have made it before. I don't think he remembered how long it took for it to finally reach that cool and peaky stage that is then spreadable and not just pour it over the cake, right? It will continue. I don't like the icing. It will continue to harden and glaze, like become very crunchy, right? It makes like a hard shell almost. So it really is like marshmallow cream that has been made to make a shell kind of thing. Good morning, Knots and Stitches. We're talking about birthday cakes. Hubby's birthday is long past, but we made his cake this morning. So, well, half of it. We made the icing. I bought the angel food cake. He likes angel food cake with 7-minute frosting, and he's gonna have it. I like it too. I'll eat it. I like the angel food cake. So consequently, that uses egg whites when you're cooking it. Oh, my plant light just went on. That uses egg whites, so there were egg yolks. So I made myself an egg sandwich. That was my lunch. And it's been a very productive morning. Let's talk about the Fiber Fair. Go for it, guys. Catch your Pokemons. Oh, my coffee is already lukewarm. My computer was like so lost. I lost my memory. I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, I had to do a complete hard boot in order to you know what? I got that message the other day I had evidently run out of. Now I don't know why I got more. Somebody said you get balls as you chat in chat, um, and I chatted quite a bit in Veggies um, stream last night, so maybe I earned a couple balls. I probably won't, but I don't have that one, so I thought I'd try. Okay, where was I? Oh, Fiber Fair. So Sunday, the Fiber Fair was in Lexington, Kentucky. It's a 2-hour drive for us. Hubby stayed home. I went with my daughter and her friend, who is also a spinner knitter, mostly knitter. Yay, we each got one. So, it wasn't riding alone or being there alone. I ran into my really good friend that I go see in Louisville every once in a while, spend some time with her and talk while hubby works on the house. That was his parents. Ran into her and her daughter. It's a nice size fair. I mean, we did it in about 2.5 hours by hitting, strolling around, hitting everything once, looking at everything, buying things, that sort of thing, right? So it was gorgeous weather. It was cool. Part of it, half of it's in a building, half of it is out under tents. Well, there's 3 parts. The third part being a building that has the animals in it, so it's all pens. And I got to see all the typical fiber animals, right? So anyway, it didn't take us too long, and then we had to drive back. And by the time I drove back, we went to eat. We went to Chipotle, and that was really fun. Got some good Mexican. And by the time we got home, it was 6 o'clock. And I had said that I was going to stream on Sunday. Oh my gosh, I was exhausted. Right? All I could do was put my feet up and sit there for a while. Before I went to bed. But it was fun. It was lots and lots of fun. What can I tell you I saw new? Not much. Or distinctive. But I did buy myself a Lazy Kate, which was something that I absolutely wanted. I was really tired of the Ashford one, and so I'm going to actually put that together on next here on stream. That and the sock, or not sock, but yarn, white yarn to dye, were my 2. I am going to get these, and I was at least 3/4 of the way through the Fiber Fair, and I had not found plain white yarn. I was almost giving up. And then I got to one booth. They had a lot of dyed yarn. I don't have tags on here, but I got 5 skeins, and I got 3 different thicknesses. So this is the thickest. No idea, but it's soft. Okay, I don't believe it's merino. I don't believe I'm going to have to worry about it maybe felting while I dye it. But, I did see something new. Now I talked about dyeing. Okay, this is the thickest. It's 4 ounces, but I don't know yardage. But I'll figure that out after I get it done, and, I'm re-skeining it and all that. I'm not too worried about it. The medium and the fine aren't real. They're not. They're kind of closer together, and they're kind of messy skeins. A lot of yarn is so squishy. It's so squishy. It's really nice. Really nice. And then this is the thinnest. This would be sock, I would say. So I got 5 skeins. They were $10 for each one. Actually, no, they were $9.50. which I don't think I'll sell. I don't know if I'll sell them or not, but I definitely have to keep that in mind, right? If I do, the cost of the materials. Let's see if I can put this one back together here. So wait, before I do that, let me tell you what I saw. Okay, there was one booth that was dyeing. I mean, it had dyed yarn. Okay, and she had a display out front. And as my daughter and I were walking by, she came out. We were looking at what had been made out of the yarn, and it was really cool because it was shawls, and uh, there was every now and then a random pattern, and like one shawl was a solid color, and it looked the way the stitch was, it almost looked like butterflies. I mean, there was yarn overs in there and a little bit of pull to the stitches on either side, kind of made it look like butterflies in a different color. And the way it was caught I almost said her name, caught my daughter's eye, and she said, how do you knit that so that you get that like that? And the lady showed us, it was how the yarn was dyed. Okay, it wasn't that there were little pieces here and there all through the skein. What she did was dye a quarter right here, one color, the accent color, and the rest of it a solid color. So you knit, all your accent, and then you hit an accent. Well, it's very random. And what you could almost benefit by swatching, because what you're going to get, what it looks like, kind of really, really depends on your pattern. You do garter stitch, you're going to get splotches that look like streaks, or they're just going to be splotches of color. You put some lace work in there, you might get that butterfly look. It was really, really interesting. And she called it intentional. Oh man, let me think. Maybe I'll think of the word. I have to try and look that up, because I tend to wonder it's on the internet, right? It's not intentional dyeing. Intentional pooling. That's what it was. It's called intentional pooling. So, let's see if that's on the internet. So that was one thing I learned. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, intentional pooling knitting. Yes, and there's videos. All right. So I'm not going to put any link, but write this down. And if you haven't Googled it or looked into that technique, take a look. It's really cool. 10 to 1 she's taught classes on it, right? She didn't say so, but they hold classes there. And when we were in one booth that was all a whole bunch of felted, really adorable felted creatures and everything, the felding work was really nice. I've seen this person before, and the lady in the booth, I complimented her. I said, I've always loved your work. Your work is just, and she, oh, actually, it's my daughter's. She's teaching a class. Yeah, that makes sense. But they do have lots of classes during, mostly Friday, and then they have, but evidently they do some classes on Saturday and Sunday too. So that was one thing I learned, and I think I am going to try my thinnest, that oddball skein. I think I'm going to try that one with it and play around with it a little bit. I hope that, I don't think I'm going to get butterflies. I think I'm going to get splotches, but I think it's going to be really, really fun if I, pick a color, like, here's what I see. A sky blue for the main color, and maybe not even dye, or dye a, maybe dye sort of a really silvery gray, and then they can be clouds, right? I could do maybe I could get a darker sky look. That would be really cool. I saw a pink llama. I posted that on Discord. I posted pictures of everything on Discord that I got there too. I did buy yarn, and then the rest is fiber. So this is I bought this from the same. It's called Jessica's Creation. Is this her card? Come on. Jessica's Creation. And as you can see, I bought these to go together. One's got sparkles and is basically sort of mostly blue on the one end. It's got some brown in there and little bits and hits of blue. This is a solid copper color, right? Gonna go really well. These are just like, and they are sock, right? This is 437 yards, and this is how much? This is Superwash Merino and Lurex. This one is 80/20 Superwash and 20 something else. This one is 80/20 Superwash. This one doesn't say it's Superwash, but it's oh yeah, they're both Superwash. They're both Superwash, which is cool too. That means I like that. They'll make great socks. Sky yarn would be pretty. Definitely missed the pictures on Discord. You did? Not my Discord. I'm sorry. It was Snoring Cats. I'll put them on my Discord. I just realized that. I was doing it for Snoring Cat. So, you thank you. Make myself a note. Because you have to see the pink llama. Okay. Now we have fiber. First we have this, which is, my favorite aubergine or eggplant. They call it plum dandy. It is Romney, Teeswater, and Blue Face Lester. Romney, Teeswater, and Blue Face Lester. Not super soft, right? Gonna make a knot next to the skin something with it. I bought 2 of these. So I have 8 ounces. I always buy 8 ounces now. And then we got some really nice stuff. These 4, I got 4 braids. Okay, these 4 braids were from the same vendor, and I bought 3, and she gave me 1 free. It's like, ooh. You just got an idea to attempt to dye a sunset skein. Yeah. Case is glad to help. Okay, so this is from Flannel Cakes Fiber. Focus. is Flannel Cakes Fiber. And she's an indie dyer. She is found at flannelcakes.com. And this is called Drama. And it is South American wool. Have you heard of that? And black Tussauds silk. Gosh, this is as soft as merino. Honestly, it is as soft as merino. It is so soft, and it's just bits of color everywhere. It's beautiful. I love the black. I love the black. And then, nobody got him. This, I don't know if I will put this with that. Hang on, I'll put them up together after I do this. But this one is called Vino, like wine, Vino. I believe I'll do these braids separate. I'll find something else to apply with each one of them. Probably black with the first, and maybe a white silk with this one. I don't know. But it's also really, really soft because it's 70% merino and 30% tencel. Oh, you know what? I could blend it with a tencel. That would work real good. I have that. So these two, when I first got them, I thought, I think they'll go together. But I've decided against it. I'm going to use black for sure with this. I have several choices. I have black alpaca, and I have black merino. So which was dyed. It was dyed. I'll probably pick the merino. Neither of these are superwash, which is fine. And like I said, the deal was buy 3 get 1 free. So I got 2 bamboo. Oh my gosh, this stuff is just like silky soft, and it's gonna be so pretty. I love this color, but I got this to apply with it. This is a lighter version, and that's gonna barber pole a little bit, but I think it's gonna be beautiful together. Those are both bamboo. So, oh gosh, this is just like huggable. It is so nice. Hubby was not happy. He is so right. I have so much. So, but that is on my list for the next couple weeks. I need to be doing some gardening work, but as I hit rainy days and as I hit where I am too tired to do the strenuous work of the garden work, I am going to start with the boxes of hand spun, and I'm going to sort into single balls, multiple that I could do a project, decide if I want the project or will sell it, and then I have a couple that are like massive, could make a sweater, maybe at least a vest, if not a sweater. So I have a couple of those, I know, but the single ball ones, then I'm going to look through them and see if there are some that can be put together, right? That's the sorting process. There's going to be a difference between what kind of fiber it is too, right? I want to make sure that's compatible. And get this labeled with an actual tag that I'm going to have to print on my computer for selling, because I am going to have that opportunity in September, and I got to get the inventory ready to do that. Okay, no more coffee. It's cold. Let me switch to I don't think there's anything else from the Fiber Fair that I can remember. It may come to my mind later on. Let me switch to my table here. And I'm going to turn around some. So you're going to be getting the side view there. I don't know if you all are familiar with Williamsburg. Williamsburg, Virginia is a colonial village, that recreation of, where they actually were and worked and lived and that sort of thing, but it's a reenactment now. And we have been there. We like it. It's just cool, for us, and hubby loves going there. Well, we donate, okay, and we get a lot of stuff in the mail. And this particular time, they sent postcards, which is fine. I don't use postcards, but I liked the pictures. This one is just standard, okay, one of their buildings, and horse and carriage. And this one also is one of their buildings, right? But the real reason I wanted to show you is two of them are, now this one's real hard to see. Oh, not too bad. It's black and white. You can see the lady in front there is churning butter. What I wanted to show is right there is one of those skein winders that you see as antiques but never in use, and it's all full of skein of yarn right there. It's all full of skein of yarn. From what I understood, that's how they dried it. They, put it on there to dry it. And I don't see anything else fiber related in there. There's a toy in there, and she is, I'm not sure. Looks like she's at a stove, that this, I believe, well, let's read what it says here. This is the Governor's Palace kitchen. In this outbuilding of the home of the governor, food was cooked over an open fire to be carried into the house by servants and enslaved individuals. So that's what I sort of thought, that these were slaves. This building was reconstructed along with the palace. This postcard, featuring a sketch by Charles Overley, circulated in the 1950s. So that's a pencil sketch. It's pretty cool. I love pen and inks. I really do like that. And then this shows a great wheel. And, at this point in time, that great wheel is just there, right? It's probably complete, but maybe it needed repair or whatever. This is the Eiskopf shop. The Eiskopf shop served many purposes in the 18th century, including a tavern, a store selling ironworks and pottery, a cabinet maker shop, and a gunsmith shop. Today it serves as the location of the foundation's gunsmithing trade. This postcard, which depicts a cabinet maker, circulated in the 1940s. But I just like that because it's a great wheel. Now, when it talked about gunsmithing, that brought something else that I wanted to talk about. I have been doing my genealogy, and I am back to great grandfathers or uncles. I mean, second removed, right? I am back that many generations now. I'm doing it through Ancestry.com. And anyway, I ran into part of the family of my maternal side, my mom's siblings, or their parents' siblings. I'm not sure how far back it is. I think it's my grandma's siblings, or that generation. Moved to Kansas, and I remember my grandma talking about the family branch that was in Kansas, but I didn't know anything about them. I really didn't. I was not. I was a child. I wasn't asking those kind of questions then, and of course, now it's too late. But I knew there was a branch of the family in Kansas, and so when I ran into the one person and their address was like Pennsylvania and then became Kansas, I knew I found the side of the family that moved out to Kansas. And the census reports that you get, and starting with like 1870 or something like that, whatever year it was, had him in there, and it listed him as a gunsmith. And this wasn't something I knew at all, and it was like, it surprised me that there was a actual gunsmith in our family, in the sense that that was his trade. That was never mentioned, right? I kind of wonder if they knew, or if they really didn't like it, or whatever. Yeah, they talked about the family. And my grandma and grandpa, when they were just recently retired, I mean, they were younger than I knew them as a teenager. It might have been in the late 70s or something like that. They went out to Kansas. Well, I mean, that person is probably no longer alive that they visited, right? This is probably the next generation that is out there and is the gunsmith. But so maybe that's why, right? This is a newer. This is probably my age generation. So anyway, it was like, oh, there's my Kansas branch of the family. I finally found where they came from. Who went out there? Okay, I have all the stuff that I got from, that I picked up, and I really don't think I have. Next year, there is going to be the Ozark Highland Fiber Festival in Missouri. All right, I've never heard of that one, so I kept that card. Not that we necessarily will go, but this one is a Fiber Festival of New England, November 4th and 5th. It is located in Maine. That's really far away from us also, but I picked that up. And then I loved this picture that was on their brochure. There was actually yarn. One dyer dyed the green and yellow yarn, right? It was exactly this color. It was really cool. So, and then you have all your vendors. And down here is July 28th through August 6th, which includes 2 weekends. They are going to have a yarn fiber trail. And these are the people who are currently involved in it. It's going to be difficult to do. We have to do it on a weekend. And I have no idea, because it is everywhere. I mean, it is spread out over mostly the middle part of where I am, going east, like from my city to the 2 other cities, is where the bulk of them, but there's some north, some northeast, around Cincinnati, like the yarn store I went to recently when we went up there. So it's all over the place, and I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're talking about doing something with that yarn crawl during that period of time. My daughter and I, anyway. I think hubby will want to go along, even though he can't, that's not his thing. He likes to get in the car and go, he likes to travel a lot, so. Let me catch a Pokemon. Ooh, catch. I don't know that ball. Okay, I'm out already. Hi, SK. Welcome. And I understand. Go ahead and lurk. Enjoy it. All right, let's get this. This is a Lazy Kate. I keep wanting to call it a Nitty Notty. That's not what it is. God, they are getting slippery, aren't they? Does that say rigged? Yeah. Rigged. Huh. I wonder what that's all about. Let's see. We are assembling the Lazy Kate. I got this from Susan's. She's out of Wisconsin. She is a regular vendor at all of our fiber fairs. She goes everywhere. I think she's about ready to retire. She is, I think, a little bit older than I am. And, but she is I've got everything. You want it, I got it. She is that kind of vendor. And she was the only one that had a Lazy Kate, and I got the last one. Of course, I was there on Sunday, but she can only bring so much right down. What was blowing my mind was her grandson was taking care of the register, cashing out and everything, because she is such a people person. She wants to teach somebody something, right? Come here, I'll show you this. You know how to spin, whatever, you know. She has this people skill, so she's always so busy that she doesn't have time to take care of actually selling things. And it was her grandson. I mean, he was like 18. I'm like, oh my gosh. I've known her for so many years. Hello, Knitter Girl. I'm doing good. Let's see if this has instructions. I am going to put a Lazy Kate together. This is Ashford. These are the, which of course always has nice woodworking. I know this, everybody has seen this because everybody has it. So it's got nice feet on the bottom there. I wonder why the handle. Alright. Simple one-page instruction. It is actually putting it this way. Thread the screw eye with tension spring attached into the hole. It would be nice if you labeled this stuff. I think that's this. No, with tension spring. No, it's this. Right here. You guys are going to laugh at my mechanical skills here. Ooh, tiny. No, that's, okay, that's writing. I thought it was a tiny piece. Alright. Here's the spring, and there's the screw eye, and it is right here. Wait a minute. It is, what the heck? Okay, their logo is backwards from the thing, but it's got to be this tiny hole right here. I think I'll do better if I pick it up and go this way. Started. Once it gets started, it'll be alright. It's got, I know it's that. It's definitely the littlest hole. There. push. There it goes. I have no strength in my hands anymore. Hubby is going to be upset. You should have let me put that together. He doesn't think I can do anything. Alright. Oh, you don't think... Yeah, shows it all the way in. Alright, probably gets a lot of pull on it, so you probably want it pretty secure. Your Lazy Kate is straight knitting needles through a cardboard box. I don't have any problem with that at all. Oh, I already put them away. Another thing I bought was square double pointed needles. There was a vendor there that had circulars of all lengths and whatever, and he actually stood and talked to my daughter and I, explaining all of the advantages of the circulars, the attachment. They had interchangeable sets. They had just singles that, and that sort of thing. And the point of the square needle. This is the first I've seen square needles around. I think Knit Picks has them. The point of the square needles is, according to him, is that if you are knitting on a circular, not a circular, a straight round needle, the stitches want to slide everywhere, right? You are putting way more tension with your hand holding those stitches as you knit, right? And so that's what tends to make this hand hurt when you're knitting. With the square, you need to learn to not do the death grip on either needle, because all you have to do is just keep sliding them towards the tip. They're not going to go anywhere. They will not go on their own, backwards or forwards or whatever. Now, whether that's true or not, I'm going to find out, but what I bought was my sock knitting size, a set of 5 double pointeds, because I am forever losing stitches off of double pointed needles when I'm knitting socks. So I am hoping. Yes, Knitter Girl, these were not cheap. They also were around $300. So it wasn't that I was like, okay, I'm going to get the whole thing, but I wanted to try something. And what I have the most problem with is the sock knitting. I thought, I'm getting a pair of sock knitting. Okay. This is supposed to go in here. That you are in Canada? Okay. Uh-oh. He does it because he loves you. He's probably going to have to do it because he's probably going to have to I'm probably going to have to pound this into... I don't see it just going to slide in here. First of all, it's too wide. But yes, this is where it's supposed to go. Oh, I think my music is... What's it doing here? Yeah, it's got a little bit left. I don't have anything to hammer with in here. This isn't going to happen. What is this piece for anyway? Place the steel rods in the 3 holes. There's only 2 holes. Oh, this is a yarn guide. Okay. Oh. Oh, wait. That's these. Let's see here. Trash can. All right. These are what the bobbins go on. Look like either end is the same. That was very doable. All right. What I really want to find out, because I had to take, I knew it was going to work with the little bobbins, but I could tell her I need to do this. Well, it's going to be fine with one. I can't do, I don't think, more than one. I have another one to try. That's okay, because I have a second Lazy Kate. These are so big for the Aura that it's not real easy. Okay, I got those. Squeeze the metal yarn guide and insert into holes. So they are making this slightly bigger because I think they want it to spring out and have tension. I think I may have to do this with a tool, with a hammer. Nope, I got it. It went. Okay. Yeah, and it went as far as it could go. Okay. And then tie one end of the nylon brake band into the tension spring and thread the other end through the hole in the wooden tension knob. Okay. This is what I don't want to do. I don't know how to do good knots. We'll see how well this just double knot works. Oh good, we're going to have a lovely rattle. Now, if I put this, see, it shows 3 bobbins there, but if I don't have a bobbin,
I don't think I would have enrolled in regular therapy.
Sorry,
but with
and
BetterHelp, it's just so attainable.
You know, I'm not real fond of the. I don't tension my other Lazy Kate. I wonder if maybe. While I'm setting this up, and we'll do it this way. That way, and I will just always have the only difference will be if I have three, if I ever do a 3-ply. And of course, this is how you tighten it anyway. This is the same as like a tensioning on a spinning wheel. This is just fishing line. Oops. And I got tightened it up too much. There we go. Alright, I'm not sure why I'm fiddling with this so much because these are obviously all empty bobbins, and the next thing I'm going to be putting on is full bobbins, but mainly trying to see that I got enough taken up or need to let some out yet. Looks like I need to let some out yet. Quite a bit, actually. There we go. And there's pull on the spring, which I don't really want, so let's do that. Okay, there we go. All assembled. Yay. Hi, Guitar Nut. Hello, hello. This is the Lazy Kate I got at the Fiber Fair I went to. Oh, there's my other bobbin. This is my other Lazy Kate. So, my biggest problem was these great big R bobbins, right? I can really only get, I probably could get another one on there, maybe over here. I'm not sure, but I like plying from two sources so that it comes out and comes together instead of like, all right, so the yarn's going to come out of here, and I just put extra bobbins on there to get the initial tensioning thing. This one tensions this way, and I don't have it. I probably was doing a Roberta bobbin originally. So it's taken up quite a bit here. There we go. The tensioning is trying to keep your bobbin from overspinning. You know, when you stop, it won't supposedly overspin. I still have some problems with this one doing that. And it's a fine line how tight you make the tension there. And a bigger triangle up to your hands. Yeah. Well, it's just, yeah, I'm happy. It was what I wanted. It really was. I wanted to be able to get that, so I did. All right. Unfortunately, it is so nice and compact in this box that it came in, and not so when it's all. I'll have to. It'll sit on my spinning table back here behind me. This one I sit on the floor a lot. The other one. Well, that took an hour, but I think that was everything I was going to do that isn't mending. So I think I'm going to go ahead and stitch up the last of the, work on the last of the linen mending project. I have put it off for a long time, unfortunately. So I still have not found my crochet hooks. I cannot believe I cannot find those. So the first thing I thought I'd do here is see if I really want, if I can just sew it or not. I cannot believe I can't find my crochet hooks. This doesn't look like crochet. Oh yeah, it is. It's crochet. I really should do the crochet hooks. Alright, this is a hole. I can do that today. And this was also, I can use my bigger crochet hook with that one. What was wrong with this one? Right here. Not really. Alright, I'm going to do a little sewing on that. But I still may have to do some crochet bars in there. There's nothing wrong with this one. Except that it's got this, oh yeah, there is right there. See, I think I'll snip all that out because I know that stain isn't going to come out of there. So that's crochet hook. I wish I could find those. I have to admit I haven't looked upstairs much. So it could be that they're up there. So I'm going to put those for last. And there is just a gazillion things to do on this one. Places to stitch. This one this one was not from the linen that lot I got. This one is actually from my mom's. It is so stained. It was on the dining room table all the time, and it has a lot of stains on it, and unfortunately I will work on the stains later. I am going to work on this first and get them stitched up. I did a small washer load where I soaked them in first just regular water with a stain stick on specific stains, and then I put them in a sink full of, I bought borax powder and laundry detergent, and soaked them, and I then put them through the washer with just laundry detergent. The really, really bad one was a pair of pillowcases that had lilacs embroidered on them. I love lilacs, but it looks like sometime in the past somebody decided that it was off-white, it wasn't nice, and they would dye it in tea. Have you ever heard of that, where you give linens a vintage look by dyeing it in tea? So when I started this process, I just kept getting very weak looking tea water right off of these pillowcases. I was like, oh my gosh. And unfortunately, it didn't take it all out. So now they're vintage looking antique off-white, right? But not in a good way. So I don't want to dye. I've thought about, I'm pretty sure RIT has white dye. But I don't want to do that with the embroidery on it. I don't think. I think that would just ruin it. I can't figure out how to get them the way I think they look good. So the pieces of this linen project that I haven't been able to actually get the intended piece of linen looking good enough to use as it was intended, I am taking upstairs to make to use sections of it where there's embroidery or whatever for quilt squares or something, or a pillow top or something like that. And I don't have specific plans yet, but I am accumulating these, and then we'll make my decision on what happens to them that way. They also can be what I call linen bags, lingerie bags or whatever, for you put sachets in them and store them. There's usually very small, they can be sachets, right? Some of the handkerchiefs I did that way. I put in a project box that I have for making sachets with lavender. So yeah, there's not been a lot of success. This is what I'm really saying, is I have not had real good success with trying to get these linens back to their original intended object, unless okay, I would say 75% of them I did, and I either kept or I'm going to sell. But 25% of them I have repurposed, or am thinking about repurposing, or just, sadly don't know how it's going to ever happen. So I have white and some off-white here. This is 2 off-white. This white will work. I need a needle. I have enjoyed this process. I know it's a very bizarre, kind of picky process, isn't it? I mean, I realize that, but I've enjoyed doing it. I just don't do it. Oh, what am I trying to say? Day after day after day. because it is not easy. These little things of white I'm using are from my sewing machine. You can buy pre-wound bobbins for the, bottom part of the sewing machine where the bobbins go. But it is sewing thread, so it's very thin. And I am going to sew double. I'm going to double it for this mending. Alright, I don't have my light plugged in. At the moment, I think I'm alright. Don't think I need it. The real hard part to this is finding good fabric, but not puckering it. Guitar Nut, I saw baby Angora bunnies at the Fiber Fair Sunday. The lady had, this was cute. She was holding a fawn color. They were, out of the nest, old enough, eyes open and everything, probably about the same age as what yours are. Not, but still just a tiny handful, right? Still at that stage where they fit in the palm of one of your hands. And she was holding the one, and talk about a magnet. Everybody's like, oh, can I pat it? Can I pat it? So she had this one fawn, but on her, in her booth were two giant white Angora. They were white, and they were giants, and which giants usually are. And the if you look down on the ground, there was a box. I don't know how she kept them all in there. The box was sideways. They could come out if they wanted to, but they were all huddled in there, and they were probably about 6 of these baby giant white Angoras. And of course the one fawn colored one. And so I looked at that and I said, what happened here? I said, how'd you get a fawn out of 2 whites? And she said, one of my other Angora mothers had too many and couldn't feed them. And these giants are, they're bigger than the, I don't know, it looked like it might even have been a satin. I mean, it was smooth coated. It looked like it was either a French or a satin. Stupid me, I didn't think to ask. But she said, so, I went ahead and fostered this one to one of the white moms, because the giant moms, because they can feed a lot of babies. So, yeah, that was like, one of these is not like the other. Yeah. Oh, and I have to brag. I did not buy a fleece. That was the whole thing about this fiber fair. I was not to buy a fleece because I have oh my gosh, 4 or 5 to process yet. So that was something that hubby was like, do not buy a fleece. And I came home and I said, I didn't buy a fleece. A lot of other stuff, but I didn't buy a fleece. I mean, he's absolutely right. I need to get those fleeces taken care of this summer. Absolutely do. I also talked to a fiber mill that is not Zeilinger or Woolly Knob, and is not far from me. I can drive there, take the fleece, and then drive and go get it, and when it's done. The drawback is, she's a single person business, and she's about 4 months. It's about at least 4 to 6 months to get your fiber. Now, she has 2 things that she does. She will either make roving, or she will make yarn, which I don't want, right? So at least I don't have the process of, I swear that must be coffee. Isn't that awful? Oh, man. I am sad about this one being, because I'm not so sure that's going to come out. We'll see. I can't rub the stain stick on this very well. I can suds it up and try and do it that way. You've been so back and forth on getting one. I need to now so I can have prep time. Yeah, it all before. Okay. Getting a mill? Is that what you're talking about, Katarnak? Or a fleece? You're talking about a fleece. Just buying a fleece. Okay. Yeah. If you want to do it on your own, right, you're fine. But if you're hoping that one of the mills check on their turnaround time, because there's not that many, and I don't know who's near you. I only know who's near me, right? But and I am not hard-nosed about only spin on Tour de Fleece. I have in the past used the Tour de Fleece period to prep fleeces, and that included washing, and then carding and combing. That's all I did. I didn't spin. But that was a number of years ago. I was still on a team, but the team was a little more open about what you're doing, right? They're not some of the Discord teams, like JK's, Knits for You, and those, they're a little more, yeah, we're spinning. That's the whole point. So I tend to go ahead and plan on spinning and do my processing before or after. This is actually working pretty good. I know that you all can't really see, but you can't really tell where I'm sewing them together, the mending. It's not what I'd call invisible, it's just so, the thread is so fine. Yeah, now, you're going to get a fleece. You have not found anyone. I did meet a friend with a drum carder, though. Well, okay, that's good. That's a good start. Because, truthfully, the one thing I saw at the Fiber Fair that is, Patrick Green made the Super Carder. And there were a lot of people selling bats that were 4 ounces, right? Mine's a Patrick Green, but it's a smaller drum, and I get an ounce. My bats run an ounce. Okay, so these are bigger, really bigger bats, and that's pretty cool as far as spinning the same fiber, for your yarn. But I've seen the Super Carder, and I also know the price. I mean, it's very expensive. And probably what a lot of these mills are using, as opposed to even bigger. The nice thing about the Super Carder is it's electric. You don't have to hand crank it. And that is, I can get tired doing. I'm standing up and I'm cranking it, and to rotate the drum. I find that I can do 6 bats in a session, and that's all I do for that day. Because especially if I'm recarding, sometimes I'm not picky. I'm not being picky, and I just go ahead and only card it once. But if I want a really super nice yarn, like for the state fair or something like that, I'll card it 2 or 3 times. That is something I have to do. I always submit fiber either carded or combed for judging to our state fair. One of the things about this one here is it really is, I used to throw it in the washing machine. I'm not saying this is handmade or anything. It's not. Was my thinking was, well, it's not an heirloom. It's to be used. But it also was, I think, kind of hard on it to wash it that way. I know no history on this. I just know that for many years I had it. I can't remember if I bought it. I probably bought it at a sale somewhere. Now I do have a hand crocheted large table that has it's a very traditional pattern. You'd recognize it right away. I do have that. It's in storage, to be honest with you. I won't use it. It was a collaboration between my mother and her mom, my grandmother. They both worked on it to get it done for my mom's dining room table, her fancy table. She wanted it, for fancy. Probably shortly after she got married, in the 50s. Alright, oh dear, I have lost my little thing of thread. I should not do that. Oh, bet I had it sitting on here. I have another one. I'll get the other one. But I bet you it went on the floor. I didn't think about it, and I probably set it down on the tablecloth. Oh, no, there it is. I found it. Right by my scissors. Good place. This is probably the only one I'm going to get to work on today. This is why it's taken so long. I have one other big tablecloth, but I don't think it has as many areas like this one. Okay. Need a water break. My daughter bought Adventuresome Fibers. She bought pineapple and rose. They were dyed light blues. Bought little 1 ounce bags of them. Totally get, why she did. I'm the same way, right? Ooh, new fiber. Let's fix that. Let's do that. But here's one. Let's do this. So yeah. She has a charka. I told her she ought to spin it on the charka for the best, probably the best results. It's pretty. It's not as short as cotton, but it's pretty. And it feels more like bamboo than hemp, or you know what I'm saying. It's pretty soft. Surprisingly soft. Not slick, but soft. Not slick like bamboo can be silky like. It wasn't like that. It was matte, but it was pretty soft. So yeah, I've spun rose. I never spun pineapple. My wild roses, I have wild roses all over the property in areas that we don't, which is most areas. I mean, we don't do weed control. We either keep it mowed or allow it to go wild, with the exception of the two farmer fields and what we mow. But anyway, the wild roses are just beautiful right now. They're just loaded blossoms. They're white. Yeah, you have one too? Yeah. It is. It's very strikingly beautiful. I keep poking myself. That sharp little needle. Okay, let's keep going here. I'm getting lazy. I'm not doing all of them. Oh, gotta do these. Lots of them here. Oh, let's see that one. Oops, thought I had it threaded. I didn't. There's a very musty smell to this one. Actually, it sort of smells like cedar. I must have had it in the cedar chest for a while. Greedent. I don't know if I have. Oh, it's too late. The hardest part about this is you can't just run over to the next one. You've got to start and stop. Hubby and I, he grilled last night. We ate on the porch. It was nice. It was really nice. Oh, I downloaded a birdsong identification app called Merlin. It's free on my phone. I keep hearing every once in a while. Most of the birds I'm very familiar with around here, but recently, periodically in the morning, or I don't know, I'm hearing a bird call that I do not recognize. So I didn't get a chance to try and catch it, the sound. I mean, you take the phone out and let it listen with the app up. And they do say that, you could get possible misinformation, ID'd ones, that it's absolutely best if you see the bird vocalizing. Well, that's going to happen maybe 25% of the time. I mean, it's not going to happen that often. But if it gives me ones that I know already, the calls, I can at least eliminate those. We'll see. But I liked it because it's regional. I just downloaded the data for, my region of the United States. You can download the whole thing. I don't know if there's a cost for the whole thing or not, but this was free. And like I say, you just let the phone listen to it, and it gives you the ID. It also gives you a list of the birds that are common to your region, and along with, are they there all year long, or are they seasonal? And they show the timeline, right? It's like January through December, and underneath the months that they're there, they make a little, what almost looks like, at first I thought it was the birdsong graphic of music, right? It's not, but it's a line along the months straight line of when they're there. And what was really interesting was I was going through those birds, just looking at them, and a lot of them are here year round. I knew that, but you'd get two peaks, spring and fall, because they're migratory. I mean, they're going further than us north or further than us south, but they're passing through for 2 months or so. It's like, oh, that's cool. So I haven't had a chance to use it yet, but I'm looking forward to hopefully finding out what this bird is that I keep hearing now and then. Definitely a songbird. I mean, it's... Hubby and I were talking about, we used to have an owl. It lived in our barn. We'd hear it all the time at night. We haven't heard it for a long time. I'm sorry that the owl moved on, or we don't have an owl anymore. I loved that at summer nights. And of course the traditional who cooks for you. I could never not hear who cooks for you. Part of the reason we have lost those birds is because we've lost the trees. We are down, of all the big maple trees, and I've talked about this before, we are down to basically one and a half. And the birds aren't going to, those owls and that sort of thing, they want to perch. They want a place to be. And I know that's why we don't have them anymore. I need a handbrake. Woo. About time to. I gotta sit here and work on this anyway. I could be at this another hour or more. Unfortunately. Well, I wonder if hubby got his cake iced. I'll just take this and continue it out on the porch. Be nice out there. Come on, knot. I can't get a knot. Can't get it to make a knot. There we go. Boy, that was fighting me. Yeah, my body's telling me it's time to move. Time to move. Ouch. So I'm gonna see who is streaming. Raid. In all of the trying to clean the linens and everything, the one thing I did not do is the out in the sunshine while drying. I don't have clothesline in the sunshine, and I don't really want to lay them out on the grass. I have one table. It's wrought iron, so I would have to put something very protective so I wouldn't get staining from that. Yeah, so it has been a bit of a, I don't know how I would do the outside real well. Not to mention all the birds. I worry about birds going overhead. They just, they don't care what they're messing up. Errands were successful. Now you're home. Well, good. I hope you have a nice, relaxing rest of the day. Gonna take Lily to the park and let her smell all the things. Are you having a nice weather day? Oh my goodness. All right, I am gonna see who's streaming. Let's say goodbye to the music. And I need Twitch. Rogue Knitter is on. She's doing sampling and fiber record keeping. Dragon Rider Cat is spinning and wool carding.
Nope, I just don't have it. Cool. That was one I lost when the computer crashed. I'll have to redo it. I will do my best, Dork. I actually
Yarn Crafters Corner's on. Lots of people on.
So that's going to be a thing that happens this week.
Sunny but not too hot yet. That's good. All right. Oops. I want to see Dragon Rider Cat. I think I know who it is, but oh, she's spinning now. Oh, Nano. Let's go take a look at it. Yarn Crafters. Oh, she's not on yet. Okay, she's taking a break. Who's new down here? B. Bumstead, painting. Miss Ruby Falls, chatting. Angelic Dreamer. 100th stream. Wow. There's cosplay. She's doing, the Hunter stream is doing Diamond Dot. Okay, Yarn Crafters Corner is back. Gonna go say hi to her. Where's her sock? I don't see it.
stuff. Oh, I didn't get to do the sound stuff. Damn it. Downloaded some sounds I could use that were like free to use, and I'm just like, I need to listen to what. Oh, in February, got me a Switch OLED, so I've been playing on it, and
This is Rogue Knitter.
all of the Legend of Zelda. Like, I still have to finish the third Dot Hack GU game, and
Yeah, bloody autocorrect, right?
That's Dragon Rider Cat.
I mean, that's at least how we could put it.
Okay. You mute her here
But
a
yeah.
minute. Guitar Nut said, just came in from spending your lunch break visiting the bunny and watching the stream. Catch me next time. That's good. That's good. I'm glad you got outside. Yeah, it's that kind of time of year, right? We'll have plenty of time when we have to be in because it's like massively hot. Okay, we're going to Yarn Crafter's Corner. If my raid works. So, everybody, see you Thursday night. I'll be back to spinning. I almost spun today. I mean, it was that I was like, I just want to spin. I just want to spin. But I'm glad I worked on everything I did. Plus, I had so much to tell you all. So, I will see you Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Meantime, have a great week. Stay safe. Catch you later. Bye.